Okay, we're going to get started. Thanks everybody for coming. My name is Dale. I'm one of the committee members for the Easton Tricentennial, and the purpose of today is to talk a little bit about what we have preliminarily planned for the 300th anniversary celebrations coming up in 2025. The focus of the meeting in large part is on community organizations and how we can all partner together to join in for the celebration. If I could just have the committee members stand up for just a moment so we can introduce yourselves to everybody. So Diane, if you want to just start, let folks know. Let me just pass this around, who you are and what your responsibilities are. No, it's not for this, it's for the ECAP.
Hi there. I'm Diane Lusardi, and I am the secretary. I take the notes, post the agenda on the town's website, as well as the minutes of the meetings on the town's website.
And I'm Rosalind Miller, and I'm the assistant secretary, and whatever Diane does, I follow behind.
Hi, I'm Joan Lundgren. I'm a committee member, and I don't have any responsibilities. Not yet.
I'm Dave Clifton, excited about being the chair of Tricentennial Committee. I'm here at the KSC eating donuts. I just thought I'd throw that in. But we're excited about what's going to happen in 2025. And our committee members feel very strongly that we're as good as the people we surround ourselves with. So we welcome all the folks in Easton to join us, be part of the celebration.
Hi, my name is Rob Goodrich. I'm president of the Easton Lions Club, which is one of the largest groups of heart and hand do-gooders that you'll find in town. I'm here to see how the Lions Club can plug into the Tricentennial Committee and hopefully contribute to the success of the events.
Well, there's no hiding.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So my name is Ellen Trown, and I'm here with some wonderful Easton Women of Today members and looking to get involved in this amazing upcoming things that we're going to do in 2025.
Missy, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Missy Katie. I'm with the Easton Women of Today, as well as the Girl Scouts here in town, and this is Catherine, who is my assistant today.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Shafizadeh, and I'm here on behalf of Boy Scout Troop 193, and just here today to see what the troop can do to help out.
I'm Dan Guerin, with the Lions Treasurer, also Easton Food Pantry, just checking things out today.
Hi, Denise Burt with Easton Women of Today, also here so we can participate in the Tricentennial in 2025.
Hi, I'm Alicia Islib, and I'm here representing the NRT.
Michael Goodman, treasurer of the Easton Knights of Columbus here at Council 238, and we want to see how we can fit in and represent our club and join all these fine folks in celebrating this Tricentennial in 2025.
All right, thank you, everybody. And what I'm planning on doing, I just have about maybe 10 minutes or so to kind of run through a couple things so bring folks up to speed about what the committee's been doing. We've been meeting for what's been a little over a year or so, somewhere thereabouts. And we've got a lot of signature events planned, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how we can partner with the community organizations, and hopefully you folks can help us get the word out as we go forward in 2024. And then I'd like to open it up just for a little bit of roundtable discussion so folks can pass along ideas about how we can all help contribute to this extraordinary event. Just a few fun facts first, if you were not already aware. During King Philip's War, 1675 and 1676, King Philip, also known as Metacom, used part of Easton as headquarters for his troops. As I understand it, they would hide out in the Hockomock Swamp area. First settler, 1694, Clement Briggs. 1711, the Taunton North Purchase area became known as Norton. And Easton's name, actually, we were incorporated in 1725. And the reason for the name, for those of you who don't know, East End of the Taunton North Purchase, which was then shortened by pronunciation to Easton. Also, during the Revolutionary War, George Washington, he stayed everywhere, but then Easton was one of the places as well. So there's a lot of really extraordinary things about the history in town, and that's in part what we're going to be celebrating in 2025. So the Easton Tricentennial Committee was appointed by the Select Board, and there are, I think, 10 of us, is that about right? 10 of us on the committee, and we've been meeting generally about twice a month for quite a while now, and we'll be doing so going forward. And this is the sort of mission we have as directed to us by the Select Board. And one of those things is to collaborate with, support, and encourage the nonprofits, commissions, committees. And this includes churches, temples, anybody who's sort of community-minded in town. We have already planned certain signature events, and those include the following. January 1st, we're going to have a first day celebration. So a lot of new things for the town, which really is going to be a lot of fun to put together. In April, we're going to do an arts weekend. The date's still up to, we haven't quite figured out the date on that, right? The arts festival? Or did we reschedule that now?
Well, we are rescheduling the date.
Okay, so it'll be in April. June 14th, a town picnic and fireworks celebration. July 4th, we're going to have a July 4th parade and a block party. October 11th, we're going to have a bonfire. And December 27th, a sort of end of the celebration gala, and that'll be over at Stonehill. First day celebration, I think of our group, who can talk for 30 seconds or so from our committee about the first day? We don't have Amanda here, right? Dave, do you want to just talk a little bit about what we're planning on doing? And we're just going to run quickly through each of the events, but if you can just talk for a few minutes about that event.
Well, it's a great way to kick off the anniversary celebration. 300 years, can you imagine that, here in the town of Easton? But Amanda Hurley and Anne Marie Taylor are the coordinators of this event. And of course, it's going to take place at the high school facility. There'll be indoor activity as well as outdoor activity. We're thinking and talking about a possibility of a laser light show that will take place. And of course, it's going to be during the early evening hours as well as the afternoon. And we hope to bring all the people together in the community. And I think that's the whole theme that we have, bringing families and community together. So we're looking forward to using the high school gymnasium, cafeteria, auditorium. What a great way to kick off the celebration.
Might as well stay up here because you want to talk a little bit about the arts weekend too? I'm just going to run
Yeah,
through these quickly.
the arts weekend, certainly we got a lot of people very much into the arts here in the town of Easton. And we want to do something for the weekend. Langwater wants to host a family fun day. We're going to be talking to the folks that run Memorial Hall about the possibility of an art exhibit that could be inside and give all the artists in the town a chance to show their art work that they have done. And of course, we hope to talk to the art groups in town to see if we can get them involved. We talked about doing it on a weekend. We changed the weekend, Dale, because of Easter and Good Friday. So we'll be posted. We're looking for an overall coordinator for the Arts Festival. That's the only missing link that we have right now. But in a matter of time, we'll be coming up with some volunteers. Yes.
Say one thing. I'm not raising my hand because I want to head up that committee, but I'm on the board of the Eastern Shoveltown Cultural District. And the weekend of April the 6th, we're having an art event at 50 Oliver Street.
Is that for 2024 or 2025?
Good point.
So keep
I'm
in
doing
mind-
it a
keep in
year
mind for
early,
2025.
so ignore me.
Okay. Does anybody want to second her motion? No. Anyways, the next event would be a special day on June 14th. We not only have a chance to salute the red, white, and blue, the American flag, but we have a chance to shoot fireworks off at 9 p.m. from the Governor Ames estate. The plan is to have a picnic during the afternoon, beginning at 4 o'clock. We have a band concert that will go off from 7 to 9 p.m. And with God Bless America, we'll slide into the fireworks. So it's a great chance to bring the people in the community together. And it's a great opportunity by flashing the fireworks to let people know that the town of Easton, Massachusetts is celebrating its 300th anniversary. We also ask you to consider, it's been a while since we've done a parade, especially on July 4th. But the committee felt that it's time for us to not only have a parade, and we got Corey Ahonen, who's going to lead the parade. He does all the parades in the town of Easton, and he's going to head this one up. And it's expected that this will be the largest parade that the town of Easton has ever had. We're not just talking about bands and drum and bugle corps. We're talking about floats. We're talking about horses, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. The list goes on. And not only is the parade going to line up at 9 a.m., it's going to go down Center Street. The parade is going to start at the monument. We're going to have a review stand in front of DPW. DPW may not be there at that time, but our plan is to have the bands and the marchers salute the colors as they march by the review stand. The parade will end in the center of town on the main street. The parade will take a right. We're going to paint the parade route red, white, and blue to let people in town know far in advance that we have a giant parade that's going to take place in the town of Easton to celebrate our 300th anniversary. We may have antique cars, police cruisers, fire engines from all the surrounding towns. We're going to do it up big time. And of course, it takes a lot of people. Someone said to me, isn't Center Street pretty long to have a parade? I think our parade lineup may go halfway up Center Street, just what we're talking about. So we're excited about it. We're going to end it with a block party. We're going to talk to our coordinators. Dan Anderson and his wife are willing to do this. And we're talking to the folks at Memorial Hall to possibly have a block party in front of the hall and to block off that side street in front of the hall and to have the parade turn right. And we're going to paint the lines right on the main street all the way up, halfway anyways, on Center Street. So we're excited about that. We're going to end the block party. It'll go from 12 to 4 p.m. and give people a chance to go home and do their family stuff in their own backyards and maybe catch fireworks in some town that evening. Anything else? The bonfire. The coordinator of the fireworks and bonfire, I was honored to be able to get the fire chief to join me on this. I couldn't think of a better person in terms of providing safety for both the bonfire as well as the fireworks. The chief and I just met yesterday with our second fireworks company. We have a third one that'll be joining us so we can get the best price, the best bang for the buck. And the bonfire, the fire chief has his recommendation of what he thinks would be the best spot to go, and we're going to be discussing that at our next meeting. Our committee meets on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month, and we welcome all the groups in town. And we know that you've got a very active Lions Club and other groups in town that do terrific things. We're asking you to be in our schedule with all the events that you've done for years. It's an annual event that you do. We're not going to interfere with the projects that you're already involved in. We hope that you'll do the same projects you've always done, but maybe beef them up for the 300th anniversary.
And the gala, right?
And finally, the gala. This is a great way to end the celebration. This is a formal gala. If someone doesn't want to wear a gown or a tuxedo, meet Dale at the side door, and he'll still let you in.
I'm the wrong guy about that.
But I think the purpose of the gala is to, and we're fortunate enough to get Stonehill College, and we thank Father John, the president, for opening up the door. Stonehill, of course, is part of our Eastern community. We're hoping to get 400 or 500 people that can attend the gala. We ask you to save that date, December 27th. The college is closed that particular week, so we'll have plenty of parking. We intend to roll out the red carpet. We also are going to put up the spotlights. As you enter Stonehill, you think you're going into Hollywood, but you're really going into Easton, Massachusetts to celebrate their 300th. It's going to be a sit-down dinner. Southeast Regional is going to decorate a large cake for us. We have lots of groups that are going to be involved. There's going to be a gift, a little giveaway at each table seat for the folks that attend. We're going to have Father John give the opening welcome to all the folks that attend. We're going to have a guest speaker, and we're going to have somebody come in and MC. Right now, I can tell you that we're working on Maria from Channel 5 to be our Master of Ceremonies. Wouldn't that be terrific? All she has to do is smile without saying a word, and she certainly would be absolutely terrific when you talk about community. Now I'll pass it back to Dale.
Thank you, Dave. So you can see we've already been putting in a lot of work on the different activities, and these are ones we've come up with. And we have one other one. I haven't run this by the committee yet, so this will be coming up at our next meeting, Dave. But I thought it is Easton 300, and for those of you who've seen the movie 300, we're going to need some volunteer to serve as Leonidas, and instead of This is Sparta, it's going to be This is Easton. So keep that in mind. We'll see if that passes the committee on Tuesday. Before I forget, I wanted to thank Michael Goodman and the Knights of Columbus for hosting us today. Been very, very generous with allowing us to have this open house here today. So we want to talk a little bit about how does this tie into you guys, your community organizations, and really appreciate if you can help spread the word. We want to get the word out to as many different organizations as possible. We're going to be doing some mailings, and I've been reaching out to a lot of the different community organizations. If you haven't picked one up yet, we have a flyer here, and on the first page it talks a little bit about who we are, how we tie in together, and on the back page there is a form to fill out. So when you go back to your organizations, we're hopeful that you'll give some thought to how you can tie into what it is that we're doing for the celebration. Fill out, provide us with the contact information. You can either email it back to us as a scanned document, or you can mail it. And we're also setting up on the website, easton300.org, there'll be a fillable form where you can add that, just put that information in that way, and that way we can tie in together. And I would sort of outline the ways in which the organizations can get involved as follows. Number one, you all have your existing activities that you do each year. And as Dave mentioned, the extent to which you can sort of beef up something or tie it into Easton 300. By way of example, when an activity that you might be having on a regular basis, or like the food pantry, who's already committed, a number of organizations have already committed to get involved. They do a Halloween parade. They're going to try to tie it in with a theme to Easton 300 this year. So activities that you normally do, give some thought to how you might be able to tie it into Easton 300. Diane and Roz will be putting together a calendar of all of the different events. So we'd like to work with your organizations for your various activities that you have, to partner with us to get on our calendar so we can help get the word out. And when you submit the form, you can also reach out to us for purposes of use of the official logo and be sort of an official event for the Tricentennial celebration. We're also looking for help with the planning of the activities, over the course of the next year. There's a lot of work to be done, you can see, with those signature events. So we're hopeful that folks will get involved. These meetings that we have, as Dave mentioned, the second, fourth Thursdays, right, for the committee, these are open to everybody. And we would love for as many folks as possible to come on board to help out. We have a number of the folks who are not necessarily committee members, but have taken on leadership roles. So by way of example, you were mentioning, I think it's Dave or Dan and Jamie, coordinating certain of the events. So please, come and help out with that. We're also looking for help for the actual events, for the community volunteers to help make these events happen. By way of example, Troop 193 of the Scouts have already committed to help out. We're going to need folks, whether it's at the parade or other activities. So if you can help us get some manpower together to staff some of these events, that would be a big help as well. So this is our new official email address, easton300.2025@gmail.com. We just got that up recently. So you can always just send us an email to reach out. Let us know if you have any questions or how to work together. My responsibility will be working with each of your organizations. So I'm happy to come talk if you have a board meeting or just want to set up a separate meeting to talk a little bit about what if some of your ideas are. We're happy to do that. So that's sort of the end of the prepared part of the meeting. I'd like to talk a little bit about, from some of the organizations, what your thoughts are in terms of how you might be able to start. And we can just sort of hand this around a little bit if somebody wants to give some thought, if you've given any thought to it as of yet. And Rob, I'm going to put you on the spot and talk a little bit about how the Lions might be able to help on this 300 celebration activities.
Thank you, Dale. Yeah, I'm excited about the Tricentennial for Easton. I believe that the Lions can provide a lot of support, although I may or may not be president at that time. But
President for life.
President for life.
4 more years.
Yeah. So at any rate, we'll do what we can. I would like to say that we're all in, and I'm sure we will be at that point in time. I looked at the parade and block party, and that seems to follow the same pattern and same footprint as the holiday festival. So this is very well beaten ground, albeit it's going to be a larger parade. For the other events that you were talking about, I think an appropriate thing for the Lions to do is to perhaps provide food. We could erect our food booths and we could be there on hand. And then I think the one at the school, maybe a potential idea would be like have like, I don't know, one of those Christmas markets or something like that. Open that up. Have some outdoor activities or outdoor things for people to go around. Hopefully it wouldn't be too cold for that. And then also we'll have Lions that are available to help orchestrate things, maybe manage the parade route and do other things as well. So we'll try and do what we can. And I'm a bit of a history nerd, so I'm happy to jump in and do some research and help you with postings. I could do that as well. I had experienced the Tricentennial of my town, my hometown, Wallingford, Connecticut, back in 1970. And as a kid who wasn't very closely supervised by his parents at the time, I had a ball of a time. And so I have some ideas from that experience that I can provide to the committee as well.
Excellent. Thank you. And is it Alicia? Yes. So I'm going to put you on the spot from just talk a little bit about the Harvest Festival that you have, and then we can maybe talk if folks have ideas of how to tie that in. But if just educate folks, if they're not already aware, a little bit about the Harvest Festival, because that's your signature event each year, right?
Yes. So my name is Alicia. I'm the treasurer at the NRT. We have obviously the signature event, which I'm sure many of you have been to, the Harvest Fair. It's a wonderful celebration. We always pray for very good weather because it's a big part of getting everybody out to our celebration. But yes, there's lots of things we can do. Jen, the executive director, she was the one that encouraged me to come to the meetings to see what how we could help. So there would be lots of opportunity for us to help and certainly promote all the different activities that you're going to be doing at the upcoming Harvest Fair to help kick off the 2025 year. So we would love to get involved. And there's lots of things that we could do to help you with that.
Excellent, thank you. And just something to give thought to for the various organizations. It's a 300-year timeline for Easton, and each of our organizations fit in different ways. The Lions have been in town now, 85 years, somewhere thereabouts? 92 years. So, one way to talk about, activities that your organization can do is an opportunity to feature your own history and how it fits into the fabric of Easton. We all have different missions, and you can talk a little bit about like how your organization got started and how it fits into the fabric, how it's committed itself to the benefit of our community overall. And we've already have a number of organizations in town who've already committed to helping us out. I've got a meeting with House of Possibilities on Monday. We have Raising Multicultural Kids who've also committed. So we all come at it from different ways, and in large part, what we're trying to do is make this really a grassroots effort. So separate and apart, and in addition to and complemented by what we're doing for the signature events, we really want this thing to be a ground-up type grassroots activity. There are a lot of different ways we can celebrate. There's no right way to do it. We're all in this boat together. It's a great activity if you think about it. We're all kind of coming together to celebrate as Eastonites, and in a lot of variety of different ways. I know we have a number of folks here from the Easton Women of Today. Can somebody talk? Missy, might be you.
Actually, I refer you to Denise.
Oh, Denise, you're in charge. All right. Can you talk a little bit about what your organization does, and then maybe give some thought to how this might tie into the Tricentennial celebration? So, welcome. Yeah, no, sorry.
Hi, so I'm Denise Burt, the president of Easton Women of Today, and we do have a few ladies here with us today. Easton Women of Today, we actually partnered up with the Lions Club this year at the Holiday Festival. We were out there. You might have seen us all as the Grinch characters hanging out. So we're really all about community, assisting those in need, whether it, families, anything that someone needs. The East Women of Today are usually there to help support that. We donate to local charities all the time. We help with Taunton Area Community Table, different food banks. Again, personal people that are in need that have issues that come to us privately. So our mission is to care for our community. So this is a great opportunity for us to get involved. One of our members, I think, has already reached out to David a couple of times. She's very much interested in getting involved, and it's come up at our meetings, it's come up in discussions, so we definitely want to participate somehow. We do have events coming up this year. We actually have a free women's wellness event in a couple of weeks on Friday, February 2nd, that we're giving back to the community. That's like, we had a big fundraiser last year, and we're taking the proceeds from that to give back to women's wellness and such. We're hopefully going to have a comedy night later this year, different things like that, so we can definitely pull in anything to help kick off the Tricentennial. And I would love for you to come to one of our meetings, whoever, in March or something, if we could do that and just talk to the group as a whole. So no, we're very excited. We're pretty much very interested.
Thanks so much, and sorry for the lack of a warning about turning the camera on everybody. So, and before, I'm going to turn back to Dave in a minute for some other things, but before I do so, I know we've got some folks on this side of the room. Is there anything else that anybody else would like to raise or have any questions about? Talk a little about. Would you like to? You're on TV too. All right, you will be.
Hi, my name is Larry Abreu. I'm an Lions Club member, but I represent the Covenant Church at 204 Center Street. We just celebrated our 140th anniversary in Easton. Originated down the Swedish Covenant Church which is now La Cucina Restaurant. Where you just mentioned that the parade will be going past right down Center Street, we do have about 150 parking spaces. It's exactly halfway down Main Street. So, I just want to let you know that our church is willing to support whatever potentially might be needed. We have a sanctuary that can seat about 250 people, should there be any musical things needed. We also have a 2,400 square foot gym space in the back as well. I'm here just to kind of understand what you guys might need and bring it back to our committee at the church. So happy to help if needed.
Great. Thanks, Larry. And and for folks, if you want to go back to your respective churches and temples, we've already reached out to some of them already, but we really want to make this a broad-based effort. So if you can help get the word out to folks, that would be very helpful. And if you haven't done so already, if you can, please leave your name and email and phone number, or at least name and email on the sign-up sheet that we've been passing out, or we have some others over here. We're in the process of compiling an email list so we can keep folks advised of what we're doing, whether it's the next committee meeting that we're having. And again, those meetings are open to everybody. They're also on ECAT, but we really encourage folks to come over. We have many of them over at the Queesit House, but we'll keep folks apprised of upcoming meetings so that you can participate as it might fit your schedule. One of the other ways that organizations can help in town is we have a program about banners. And Dave, I know you like talking about banners, so come on up if you wouldn't mind. Talk a little bit about what you've got in mind.
Thank you, Dale. And I guess two of the very strong recommendations that we have to the community is we need lots of volunteers. It takes 30 people just to do a parade, so you can imagine. We started out with 10 people appointed by the select board, and now we have 10 or 15 or 20 other people who are going to join us at our next meeting on the fourth Tuesday of this month. But one of the great ways to not only promote the celebration is an idea that we had about pole banners. I've checked with a couple other communities. There's another community nearby that had a total of 95 banners. And it's also an opportunity to thank the sponsor or the participant or the organization. Here's an idea of what a banner might look like. It's not the finished product. But this banner on the top says Town of Easton celebrates 300 years. We have our logo. We just had the winner announced. And of course on the bottom would be the sponsor. Here it says Northeast Savings Bank, but it could say Easton Lions Club. It could say, as they did in another town, they had, after they got all the banners up, they had 25 or 30 family members that wanted to put their family up. The cost of the banner is $300. It's a magic number that we use, and that $300 goes towards the celebration and paying for the banners as well as the hardware. Now, there's going to be lots of folks who are contributing to the cause, maybe sponsoring some of the events, but we also are going to give them a banner because they're major donors. That'll be a freebie. The rest of the community, like it could be on the bottom, the Clifton family. And of course, it goes towards the celebration. It's a pretty good deal, $300, when you think about the advertising for 14 months. A couple of months in 2024, and a full year in 2025.
Where will those banners be placed?
They'll be placed on the wooden poles, either on the main street, they'll be on Center Street, the parade route, and they'll be at the five corners. So we're going to kind of scatter the banners around. I'm going to be viewing where the poles will be. Of course, the poles are already there, but I'm going to go around with the DPW director, Dave Fields, just to take a look at exactly where we'll go. And it's something that they're going to be weatherproof. They're going to be vinyl. They're going to be two-sided banners. There's going to be a slit in the banner for in case of wind. And of course, the banners will be 24 by 48 inches. So they're pretty good size. We have two printing companies that are looking at this for us, and they're giving us a good deal. And we also have Southeast Regional that could be made up by the students. The only issue with Southeast Regional that they're not around during the summertime. And I think I found out in another community where they had 60 banners up front with all the agencies and businesses in the community. And then we had families that wanted to jump in. So they needed to come up with another 30 some odd. And you can go to the printer, they already have the design, and they just add in who the new sponsor is. And again, it's two-sided, so you can see it coming up the street and going back. So we hope that all your groups will jump in and be part of that. And it's a great way to promote the celebration. And it between painting the parade route, ringing church bells 300 times on the first day of the celebration, and of course the banners. Southeast Regional is going to build some wooden boards. There are going to be 4 or 5, and they're going to go in strategic locations in the community. And there's going to be posters that'll be available at our next meeting for the committee. It just gives you a highlight of what we expect. And when we approach all the businesses in town, we'll be able to give them a poster to hang in their place of business. Is there anybody here that's opposed to banners? I didn't think so. Especially on camera, huh? Okay. Thank you.
So just sort of in conclude, I just want to share a personal story. I moved here in 1993. I grew up in the Cleveland area, and I joined the Lions Club in about 2004 because I used to take my kids over to Yardley Wood Rink for skating and saw what all Ken Wood was doing with the hot chocolate and everything else. And it really is a bit of Norman Rockwell that we have here in Easton. And in hearing what each of our organizations, what you folks are doing, it's just that much more the case. So you're all doing it in your own way to make this a very special community. When I first moved here, one of the first things I did was read the book that was a history of Easton, written by Reverend Claflin in the 1860s or 1870s, somewhere thereabouts. And 1880, right? It is. I actually read the whole thing, you know? So I'm fascinated by the history of our town, and but more so than that, I feel very strongly about the community spirit we have here in town with what our folks do to help others in town. It's why I joined the Lions Club. It's why I get involved with things like this. There's a lot of good here in town, and as I see the Easton 300 celebration, that's what it's all about. All of us coming together as one, and it's something we're all in the same boat. And I'm really, really excited about this and thrilled to be involved in it. And I hope you guys will share that enthusiasm and talk to your folks, your groups. And again, we want to make sure that stay in touch with us. You can shoot us an email. Please leave contact information and let us know how we can further talk with you about how to partner with us. So Dave and I would be happy to come, or even any of our other members, to your board meetings, talk a little bit about that, do some brainstorming, what activities work, how to tie into existing things that we planned, or new activities you might want to do, or how Easton 300 can tie into some of your existing activities. And as I mentioned before, we are going to have a calendar that we're putting out there, so we're hopeful that with enough planning now that as we put that out to folks, we'll have a list of the various activities. Your activities that you guys do will be part of that, and we will be promoting that throughout town. And then you can also promote those activities by use of the official Easton 300 logo. So are there any other questions? Anybody like to say anything else? Mr. Goodrich, sir.
So 300 years, 300 years, 2025. Is there a specific document, a specific date at which the town was incorporated?
It was 1725.
Yeah, but when in 1725?
Ken, come on up.
It's in December.
And is there a document we can bring here?
There is a document. I'll have to check it in terms of.
Okay.
That's what you're asking.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
And toward that end, my understanding is one of the reasons for incorporating is that the folks wanted to have their own parish. I guess they formed it in 1722, but they got tired of going down to Norton, by horse and buggy for the services. And so there was sort of a tie-in, and it had something to do with, incorporating as a town in 1725 so as to have their church services here rather than having to travel. So it's really quite interesting. Anyone else?
P.O. Box 300.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. On the forms we have, the flyer, we have the address listed at the bottom, and it's P.O. Box 300. I don't remember the rest of the address. It's it's the P.O. Box up at the northeastern. I think, right?
Yeah, it's
02334. Thank you. Okay. So again, a lot of ways to get in touch with us. We've got plenty of donuts left over here and munchkins, and if you don't eat them, they're taking them back, and my boys and I are going to be eating them, and I really don't need to be doing that, so please help me out on that. So thanks everybody for coming, really appreciate it, and since we're all here, if you want to talk to anybody else, connect with each other, how you can all work together on that, I encourage you to do so.